Hello, welcome back to Watercolor Theory. Today's video will be for Earth Day in a new segment called Just for Fun, um, which I'm filming it, so that's kind of taking the fun part out. But I figured just doing a full painting, but in practice. So that is what's coming up. And unfortunately, I didn't realize that my camera was out of focus for the first part. So we will be starting in the middle and then progressing towards the end and final thoughts. So please enjoy this midpoint, and then I'll continue as the video goes on to explain other things that are coming up. So here is where I started the painting in the middle of the process. Thanks. So now we're at the midpoint of our Earth Day painting. A couple of things I've learned along the way at this midpoint are with a painting like this where we're applying paint in a less traditional watercolor method. I mean, it's more direct painting with the knowledge that there will be some bleeding at the edges. So with this jelly bean painting, National Jelly Bean Day and Earth Day are the same day, so I'm just doing two paintings. But anyway, this one has a kind of a mother wash, this base wash, not necessarily a mother color though, like how Joseph Z does, because it starts off with very warm here and then it gets cool. So with this, I didn't try for a traditional method. I think if I did this again, I would maybe paint the whole thing kind of a green and then do the outline, do the negative painting around. Doing them side by side though gave me some of the edges would dry, some of them would stay moist. I would float in water, and then as everything dried, then I went back in and kind of overlapped edges to create new dark and light areas. So in the end, it works out. It was definitely a different painting method. And then obviously the background is super abstract, but it has a space, the Final Frontier look to it. So now I'm just going to go in with a little bit of another like muted green and a muted not brown, but like a trying to figure out if it's showing up. Yeah, burnt sienna, just a little burnt sienna and green, and kind of let them mix together and neutralize. So that's where I'm going to go with this guy. So I talked a little bit in the beginning, and I'll paint. That'll be sped up. I'm at the midpoint now, and then the rest of this I will speed up for the video, and in the end I'll do a closing. Mainly it's just for fun though. I normally paint the size of this this board is, this is a 10 by 14 piece of paper. That's normally small for me. So painting like this though is really rewarding because I can get more paintings done in a shorter amount of time. Each of these paintings will be probably less than an hour of time invested. So that's rewarding, being able to do a painting in an hour as opposed to many hours. So I'm enjoying this this stage of the game, and now I'm going to mix my colors and we'll finish up Planet Earth. Thank you. All right, so moving forward, I will continue doing full-size paintings, but for a while I was only doing full-size paintings. And the other day I noticed that it was National Jelly Bean Day and Earth Day coming up, and I was like, oh, that sounds like something fun. And I've also been working on some smaller paintings for the slow travel painter series, and have been getting some joy out of doing just something a little bit smaller. You can do obviously a finished painting quicker, still practice uh, your drawing skills. And that's the other thing, is that for most of the paintings I've been doing thus far, I have been either tracing them, transferring them by doing the cutouts, which I've done a video of, or using my projector. And I found that I was, I don't know, missing something. Part of the joy of painting, shout out to Bob Ross, part of that joy is getting to know your subject matter, not from a visual standpoint, learning, where the shadow and the light are and figuring those things out and doing value studies, but also doing the sketch work yourself, what's important. So I felt like that was missing from my practice. And so I'm adding that in. Um, and it's also nice doing these smaller paintings. They're less than a quarter size of what I've been doing. So I can get, as far as painting goes, I can paint 4 times as many things. Now, as you get smaller, kind of, the game changes a little bit. And that's another thing as well, is getting that brush control with those smaller items, getting water control. It's a different ball game. The splashing lends itself to larger paintings, although the background of this Earth Day painting, I did splatter. Unfortunately, I didn't capture that on film. The jelly bean one, I splattered that and then let it dry and then went back in and painted the jelly beans. I also have some paintings from the Slow Travel Painter series that are also this 6-inch by 8.25-inch format. That's just what works out, fitting 2 of those per 10 by 14 page. And so I can do a little bit of splattering on it, but not to the degree of the others. I'm trying to go with the Slow Travel series with a little more of an atmospheric look. So you'll see also where I'm introducing the use of white to put in kind of a sfumato, that smoky appearance. So those are the things that are coming up on the horizon. And please, I ask again, if you have a chance to just either leave a note in the comments section, or if you have something, like if you recently went on vacation, you're like, oh, how would you paint this? Send me a picture and I'll maybe feature it, or I'll show the way I would attack it. I'm here for you. So it's a learning experience either way. And then, if you send me something and I see it as being like, here's this beautiful picture of the green hills of Ireland, I'll probably say, yeah, that's better in a photograph than in a painting, because some things aren't, don't translate well, or just aren't, it isn't part of my repertoire. So I do like architecture though. So there'll be a lot of that, but I also liked the jelly beans. So realize that's a little long-winded. Moving forward, I'll also have beginning. I'll do an intro, talk about the painting that's coming up, and then there'll be a section where I speed up the painting and just show the process. Midpoint, after I've allowed that initial mother wash to dry, I'll talk about where we're at. Show a value study that's based on cutting in, where I'm going to add value to help it emerge from the fog. And that especially comes out in the 2 travel slow travel painting series ones. I have 2 different Vietnamese temples, and that really plays into that, emerging these from the fog. So really excited about these new additions, smaller prints, smaller paintings, excuse me, and more focus on just having more content out there for you to choose from. And as always, send me a comment, send me a picture, and please like and subscribe. And thank you for listening to me ramble on.